Hi everyone, today I'm here doing a full review of the BH Cosmetics brush set. This is the 36 piece. I do actually have a first impressions unboxing of this brush set, which I will link down below. It is my most popular, most watched video, so I just thought I'd do an update and review and tell you what I thought about the brushes. This is the huge roll that it comes in, the huge brush roll. So many brushes. I really find the brush roll very handy. I do use it not for just these brushes, but when I'm going away or doing someone's makeup, I like to pack all my brushes in this because it's so big and I can just lay it all out and have them all in there. I like the fact that I can even fit up to 2 brushes in some of the little brush slots, which is fantastic. But normally I don't have them stored in here. I just have them in like my little things like that. The first brush I have is an eyebrow brush. This is one that has the brush on there and then the little comb bit on this side. I don't use this that much, but I do have another one from another brush set. This one, I don't know why, but it has like one of the teeth, they're like bent. Not that it really makes that much of a difference, but I think it came like that because I honestly haven't even used it. Next up we have a spoolie, and I did just add this one into my collection recently. I filmed this a couple of weeks ago, but it was missing a huge chunk, so I have to film it again. This spoolie is great. I think it's just a standard spoolie, but you know, it does the job to brush out the brows. Definitely have had use out of that one. I am missing the small fan brush, and I don't know why, but I do have one in my collection like this, so it's pretty much the same as this. So I don't know where it is, so obviously I don't use it, but I do have this one which I use sometimes for like I use it for highlighter sometimes. I think it might even be a bit better quality than this one. This one's a Forever New one. Shadow sponge brush. This one I have not used. I don't find these very good at all. Eyeliner brush, not the best for eyeliner. Really, I think I've used it once and I didn't like it. This goes for all of the eyeliner brushes here. I think if you want your eyeliner to come out perfectly crisp, you need to spend the money on a good brush. The bristles, they've gone a bit funny. I don't know if I also tried to chop them because they were just even worse than what they are now, but they've separated. Yeah, I don't really use that one at all. Angled liner brush. I do use this one a little bit for like the lower lash line, or I use it to put shadow on the top lash line or smoke out a pencil liner on my lash line. I do definitely have use for that one. Pretty much the same as the other one. I find use for it in smudging out. What I've used this one, and then there's another brush coming up, I use it to draw on shadow liner. So just on the top lid, I find that you can get a really nice line with this one, and then there's another one coming up. Bent eyeliner brush. This one, you'll be able to see it close up. All of the bristles have just not been very good to me, and yeah, it just, I think I used it once and it just went everywhere. So like I said before, spend the money on a good eyeliner brush. Small smudger brush. I don't know if this is a smudge brush. Some of the bristles have gone a bit funny on it, and I don't know why, but I don't think I use this one very much. It doesn't really look familiar. I guess I would use it if I was going to use it for the inner corner highlight. That would be really good to get some nice precision in there. That would be a really good use for it. Small angled liner brush. I cannot find this. I swear I saw it this morning and now it's just disappeared off the face of the earth. But I do definitely use it for the same reasons. I use it like lower lash line and smudging out my top lash line. Yeah, I do definitely have uses for that. Small rounded liner brush. This is the same use as the other round eyeliner brush. I use it for combing out my hair. No, I use it with shadow liner on top of my lash line. Flat liner brush. This one is great for getting that really crisp line of shadow on your lower lash line. Really great for that. Also, I found another use for it. When you pull down your lash line, take a black shadow and you press it on your lash line. That is fantastic. I do have fair lashes, so if I'm not wearing any eyeliner, I do sometimes like to do that so that my lashes have a little bit of more definition on my lash line. Yeah, so that's just another use for that one. Eyeliner smudger. This is one of those spongy ones and I haven't used it. It probably would work okay to smudge out your liner, like your, you know, dark eyeliner or something like that. Would work okay, but like I haven't used it, so I can't really comment. Round angled smudge brush. Yeah, I've tried to use this one. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Lip brush. I use this for, you know what I use this for? I use this for inner corner and brow bone highlight. I don't use it. I've never used it as a lip brush. But it could be a good lip brush actually. Yeah, that'd be good. That's a good brush. Concealer brush, I've used this for eyeshadow. I don't use any of the concealer brushes for concealer. I use it for eyeshadow just to pack it on the lid. Short smudge brush. I don't know if I've smudged with this, but again, I use it for eyeshadow on the lid. Small concealer brush, yep, use it for eyeshadow all the time. Love it. Smudge brush, I would call this a pencil brush actually. I use this all the time in like my crease. So if I wanted to get like a really nice line in my crease, I'd draw it like outer crease usually, and also on the lower lash line. I've found a lot of use for that one. Small smudge brush, basically the same as the large one. Yeah, defining that in the crease or lower lash line. Crease brush. I have recently been using this, not in my crease, but to contour my nose. I find it really a really good size, and it's nice and fluffy. Well, not super fluffy, but it is fluffy enough to do that and not get any harsh edges. I guess it would be good as the crease, but I don't think I've really used it for that. Maybe a couple of times, but not enough. Flat shadow brush. I love this brush because it's so nice and fluffy and soft. I know when I first got this kit, I didn't have as many blending brushes as I do now. So I definitely used to use this one to blend, and it gave like a really nice effect on the lower lash line, like a really nice smoked out effect. So I do like that one. Round flat shader brush. Similar to the other angled round brush, don't have a use for it. Don't think I might have tried to use it. Can't find a use for it. Eyeshadow brush, yes, use for eyeshadow, just for packing it on the lid. I love that one. And the same with the next one. It's an angled eyeshadow brush. I've just used it for the same. You know, like when you just don't wash your brushes for a while, I've got heaps of eyeshadow brushes to just throw a colour on the lid. Blending brush, I really like this blending brush. It's not as fluffy as some of my other ones, but it does the job. Short shadow brush. Use it for packing eyeshadow on the lid. Angled blending brush. I don't use this one that often, but it is good with the longer part in the crease and blend up the top. Got those brown bristles. There's only 2 other brushes with those bristles, which is a bit weird, but yeah, they're pretty good. Large shadow brush. I know when I got this, I was like, what the frick am I going to use this for? But I really love it. It's so great for you're starting off your eye and you've got like a color that you want all over the lid up into the brow. It just zoom zoom zoom. Quick, easy, efficient, picks up a lot of product on this brush. It is great. I love it. Foundation brush. I actually use mine for primer. So like when I've got tan on my hands and I don't want to get my hands dirty by putting them on my face, I use this and yeah, it works a treat. I've never used it for foundation though. Small blush brush. I've only recently started using this one and I actually really like it. I feel like you can just get in there really good, like it's a nice precise blush application. Large angled blush brush. I did use this one for a while, and now that I've used my smaller one, I like my smaller one better. This could be good for like bronzing or something like that as well as blush, or just a backup blush brush. Highlight and contour brush. So this is one of those rounded ones and it's on an angle. I tried using it once. Let's say it just didn't go that well. I haven't used it since. I don't really know how to use it. If anything, it looks more like a foundation brush. Yeah, it's really dense, but I just can't find a use for it. If you've used it for something, let me know. Duo Fiber Stippling Brush. Now, I did use this a few times for blush and like for blending out things. I found I didn't really need it that much, so I haven't used it that much, to be honest. Powder brush. I use this for bronzer all the time, so just for like blending in bronzer and contour and everything like that, just for blending it in, or just bronzer. I really like that brush. It's nice and thick and dense and soft. Yeah, it's great. And the large fan brush. I use this every day, pretty much every day, just for my highlight. I really love it. I love how big it is and how dense it is, and I always get comments on it because it looks so fancy. Okay, so that's a review brush by brush. Overall, you know what? I really do love this set. I really appreciate it, especially like starting out with makeup and everything like that. I didn't have a lot of brushes and this gave me what I needed. It gave me heaps of brushes so I didn't have to wash my brushes as often, and I got heaps of backup, experimenting with them, and sometimes they say to use them as something but you use them as something else, and that's okay. You don't have to use them for what they are specified for. You can use them as whatever you like. The quality of the brushes is there, not so much in like the thin eyeliner brushes. I wouldn't recommend them. I've never had any shedding of the brushes. The bristles are still quite soft. They're not as soft as some brushes, but in that sense you're not paying a large amount for this set. You can get it quite cheap for about $30, but then you've got to includes shipping and everything, I think I paid about $30 for this set. The original price of this brush set is $59.95. On the side right now it has 45% off and sale price is $32.95. Of course you need to factor in shipping like I said before, but that's a steal. For 36 brushes, that's really awesome, especially if you're just starting out. I think it's such a great buy. I would totally recommend them to anyone starting out. Of course, like now that I've built out my collection of brushes, there are brushes that I do use for certain things and that I love more than these brushes, but that's okay, that comes with time. But for anyone just starting out, this pretty much comes with any brush that you'd need apart from a good foundation brush. For the foundation brushes, I typically like to use like the Kabuki style, like a Real Techniques one. So this one is my favorite one. It's a buffing brush. You can get them from iHerb for like $10. You will get every brush that you need with this set pretty much except a foundation brush, and I think that's such a great buy. As I said, the quality is really great. I love the case, the brush roll that it comes in. I think that's fabulous. I have had the brushes for over a year now and I have washed them quite a few times. I think that they're holding up great. The only thing that I want to say about the brushes that I think that they should do, and I don't know if they do it now, but they should have a description of what the brush is on the handle or number or just something so you can know what they are, because especially like when I'm trying to film this video and I've put them all in order, I have to look at the website to see what brush is what. And also the eyeliner brushes are a bit disappointing, but everything else, oh, and this brush. What would you use that for, honestly? I don't know. Anyway, I really do love my brush set, so give this a thumbs up if you have found it helpful, and if you've watched my other video, then you can watch this video now and see a full review of them. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!